start the meeting.
Good morning.
There's Alan.
Oh, good morning.
Hey, sorry,
We were discussing stuff, that's fine. Do you know, is Renee gonna join us?
he will, but he's gonna wait for executive.
Okay, you got that. All right. We call the meeting to order. There is an establishment of a quorum. Welcome of guests and public comments. Robert, got anything you want to say?
I don't want to get upset this early in the morning.
Okay. That's good. I still have a half a burrito to go here. So. Danny?
Okay, thank you.
You're okay? Right. All right. The minutes of the February 10th meeting. Be under item 3 in your packet. Any of you board members saw anything?
Well, Art, can I say something?
Sure, Jim.
Whenever you record in the minutes and abbreviation, if you look at the first page of our packet, you see up at the very top of it, it has, National County Water Treatment District and Water, and it says in parentheses, EPCWID.
Yes, sir.
That's the correct way if you're going to use abbreviation. The first time you use the word, you need to identify that whatever the abbreviation is going to be.
Okay.
And the only other thing, this may be out of order, but under tab 16, you've got that memo that I strongly advise against. That it doesn't do you any good, it just causes confusion, because the law is that the directors, each of the directors, and only the directors, can require any item to be placed on the agenda if he wants.
Yeah.
And,
That's a separate item, it's not on the agenda, so let's talk about.
Agenda items, what you do 3 days ahead of the meeting, if the director suddenly decides he wants to put something on the
All right.
agenda.
Okay, Jim.
I've talked about that before, and I just strongly recommend that it be deleted because it doesn't
Okay.
do it.
All right. Point taken. Who just joined us?
This is Jerry Melendez with the Bureau of Reclamation.
Oh, hello, Jerry. How are you? Jerry, we just went through our guests. However, if you want to say anything, Jerry, we can give you the floor for a little bit if you want to say anything to us.
I don't have anything to say, sir.
You want to observe. You got it. Okay, back to our minutes with those points of Jim's. Any director see any corrections on the minutes?
Why did we get the second one?
Well, Steve, that brings up again my idea.
Jay wasn't present, and he
Be
wasn't
careful
here, so I took him out.
with abbreviations. You've got in your minutes in various places, the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation, and query whether U.S. is necessary or helpful.
Okay.
We all think of the Bureau of Reclamation as only being the United States Bureau of Reclamation.
Okay.
I guess you could have a Bureau of Reclamation in Mexico or another country, but it seems to me the Bureau of Reclamation should be sufficient.
Okay. I think everybody noticed that. Sharon, you noticed that? What he's talking about on the abbreviations?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. Anybody else with anything on the, I think, George, you got your question answered, didn't you? Okay. Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Well, wait just a second there. I just thought of something else I failed to mention. Rose does a great job, but she's referring to EPCWID1, and that's inconsistent with definition on page 1. You should eliminate that number 1. I think on Rose's excellent page, except for that one being added.
Now, this is in the minutes you're talking about, Jim?
Yeah.
Look under Rose.
Rose's
Okay.
report.
Lori or Sharon?
said Lori.
You said Lori, but I think you meant sheriff, right? Now, what page are we looking on that Jim's talking about? Rose Rodriguez, all right.
Well, I've flipped my package, so I can't tell you the page right now.
Okay, well,
If you look at your agenda,
okay.
on the very first page, you'll see Rose's report indicated, that's where you'll page started. Let's see.
All right, Jim, but that has nothing to do with the minutes, right?
No.
Yeah, she's got her report in the packet.
Okay,
Well, no, you're right, it's not part of the minutes, you're right.
right.
You're right.
That's a correction you want to make when we get to Rose.
Part of the packet, that's all.
All right. Hearing,
Rose has an excellent she gets her, she does, even though she started training in her envelope graduation, and we're having an envelope tax and history, she gets that black, she corrects the answers. Her report is always excellent.
all right.
But I just noticed, when I was going through the packet again yesterday, that she had added EPCWID in number one, the digit one, and that just didn't serve any purpose. If you're going to use abbreviations, which I favor when you can, because it shortens things up, you've got to be consistent. You can't change the abbreviations as you go through the minutes. Or I will change them in the packet. See, the packet, these packets last forever.
All right.
We've done them years back.
All right.
So I'm just suggesting.
Okay, thank you, Jim. And, floor entertain a motion.
Motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Okay, thank you. Larry made a motion to accept the minutes. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right, Mike seconds it. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okey dokey. Lisa, no. Mary. There you are. Hello, Mary.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
First report is our investment monthly report. We did have 3 certificate of deposits that were reinvested. Unfortunately, we couldn't do so with the treasury bill. The rates are really low at this time. Just as of today, for a 6-month, we're looking at 0.05%, or a 1 year at 0.08, and this is with the treasury bill.
Ooh, okay.
We do have a CD number 160012354 that was reinvested, and that new rate, for the month of February, it stayed at 0.50, but it was reinvested this month at a rate at 0.15.
0.15.
Correct.
And,
This is for 6 months.
okay, 6 months. Okay.
We also reinvested, the treasury bill also matured in the month of February, which was a total of $6,150,000 for a 1-year term at a rate at 0.20%.
Wow.
And this is reinvested with Westar.
Now, the Westar rate is 0.20.
Yes.
Now, that's not on this sheet here.
No, that would be for the month of March.
For the March mark.
Correct.
So I noticed that you have the month of March 2021 maturity date. Is that the one you're talking about?
No, I'm talking
She told us
about
a new
the
one.
one below.
Okay, so that has nothing to do with anything, right?
Yes.
Okey doke. All right.
And I also went ahead and reinvested an additional $2 million for a term of 9 months at a rate at 0.15%. And that will reflect in the month of March.
Okay. Boy, low rates. All right,
Yes.
all right. Mary, let's go on. Balance sheet, and everything looked correct to me on that. Yeah,
I would just say, Art, we might get I guess you're the only one on the finance committee, we might get together with you, me and Mary and Chewy and go over some other government-approved investments that are paying considerably better right now.
okay. Well, we'll do that, we'll have to do that. Especially, Westar doesn't up their game a little bit
Right.
right. All right, we got balance sheet, and we've also got,
Net revenue.
net revenue. Anybody see anything on there? noticed on the net revenue, Mary, you can't explain it really. The fourth line down, 151, 151, water assessments were way behind on there. Now, that's the actual charges for the water use, correct?
Yes,
Okay. So people are being a little slow.
yes, they are, and I believe we will start receiving more revenue as we get closer to
Okay.
delivery of water.
Well, they've heard how full that dam is.
The next report is our $500 check report.
Anything more to say, Mary? Before you get asked?
I know Mr. Brooks had a question in regards to the first one with the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation. It's basically a wash. We do go ahead and invoice El Paso Water,
Yeah.
and then in turn, we turn around and issue the payment to the Bureau of Reclamation.
Okay. I have a question about line 2 and 3.
Yeah, that's.
One of them said, return check, and then also we still have 2 checks, so what's going on
Yes,
there?
one was made out incorrectly to the vendor, so they went ahead and returned the
So
check.
it wasn't
and
cash, it just showing the amount of the
Correct.
return check.
Correct.
And the next one was cash. I
The
bet.
next one was cash.
Okay.
So it's really a subtraction.
Yeah, it's a subtraction. To George's point, I was thinking maybe, I don't know if it would have been appropriate to put a bracket around it or something, let us know it was a credit back, maybe.
What are we doing with that diet diesel? Are we being able to use it on the equipment more or
Yes, all our equipment has dyed diesel.
diet diesel now?
Yeah, the only thing that still running the regular fuel is the dump trucks and the pickups. Yeah, but all construction equipment is dyed.
Saving quite a bit of money there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Great, I'm glad Larry kept pressing on that
Your diet diesels should be going up also, right? Unless it says it's going down, because our first purchase was 209, I figured, and now it's down to 185. I guess that's good,
A lot of it could have been because of the holidays.
yeah.
What are you using, the portable air compressor? What, is that one piece of equipment? And what are you using it for?
That's needed for the shotcrete machine. We have to feed the shotcrete machine with air,
Oh,
so that's what the compressor is for.
okay. And it's one piece of equipment that costs?
Yes, yeah.
What happened to the old one? Or is there an old one, or what?
No, it's a brand new air compressor.
I know, but what were you using before that?
But we've got two,
We've got
two
four.
teams going
Yeah.
on.
Okay,
Yeah, we actually got 4 machines.
it's gotta be a big one.
Sorry?
That's a big one, huh?
Yes, it's a little bit bigger than the other one, and that's what this pump here, being that it's a newer pump, required a little bit more pressure.
Is that an Ingersoll brand?
It's an off-brand from Ingersoll Rand. It's what's called Doosan, I believe this.
Okay.
Yeah, my understanding is Ingersoll Rand is not making compressors anymore.
They're not?
That's what
That's
this
they-
gentleman told me.
Really? That's what they're good at? That's what I thought.
It's a Wuhan compressor.
On number 26, I don't know if it's the P or, how many of those 4x8 sheets was that? It doesn't have a number.
I can get that
Number
information
26.
for you. I can get that information for you.
What is the license, item number 46, application fee reimbursement? What license is that, or what are we talking about?
That was an application that was made by a client, the CEA, to see if the district would sell a lateral, but it was not something the district considered to sell, so the application fee was returned.
Refunded.
Oh, okay.
One last question on number 32, 33, and 34. How come they just didn't put it on one deal? It's the same amounts, except for one. Same company, same description.
They were all different invoices.
And we have to keep track of, under that grant money, Mr. Brooks, we have to keep track of, we have to turn in exactly as we order, and we get the receipts and all that. We turn them in on our yearly report.
So you know specifically what job you were doing at that time?
Correct. We have to account for all the concrete.
Because they're on the same day. That's what I'm saying, that's normal.
Yeah, it's just, every truck brings their own invoice.
Oh,
That's the date of the payment that was issued,
right.
but the invoice can be dated different days.
Different,
You're gonna see a lot of that here in the near future because we're ordering a total of 7 trucks per day.
Okay.
So the amount's gonna be exactly the same, but it'll be 7 different invoices, but we'll pay all 7 on the same date.
Okay. I was just curious. Different.
The, item number 8, the Montoya Main project, this effort is that under a grant or is that a direct cost to the district?
It's under a grant.
Any more questions? We got a credit report,
Yes.
credit card report. All I know is that Jay was stepping up to mine there, you see that?
Trying.
I guess we're not learning anymore because there's no continuing education, so we tapped out.
At this time, it's difficult to travel, and we do have certain online courses that we do take as well.
All right.
You go. All right, under tab C, we got our legal consultant. Informational sheet. You guys get an idea of where we're at. Money-wise? Any questions? No more questions? That Mario, that easy again?
I was curious on the general labor, sorry,
Don't ask.
I was curious, on general labor matters, is everything pretty much copacetic, everything's good? Is that why we're using them for keeping our employees in line, or what's going on?
Which one are you referring to?
General labor matters.
With Kemp
Kemp
Smith.
Smith. Yeah.
Yes.
That's CB Burns, and we'd have to talk about that in the closed.
Oh. Wait.
Very good. Okey dokey. Rose. Good morning.
So I do have 2 adjustments. This one for the month of January. There was a water order that was entered twice. And the second one, there was a lease for the Valley Water District, and which was changed the category, but it's still taxable because of something about it. So we're looking at approval of adjustment $490.40.
Is there a motion to approve that, what do we call that, rebate or
Adjustments.
adjustment.
Adjustment, tax adjustment.
Move to approve the adjustment as
Mike makes a motion,
Thank you.
second.
Larry seconds. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Our next report is the El Paso Public Service Board and Rio Valley Water District and tax suits. And Mr. Spear has suggested that the title for El Paso Public Service Board be changed to the City of El Paso on behalf of Public Service Board. That will take effect next month.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
And this is where we're at right now. PSB Lower Valley tax suits. You don't have any questions?
Okay. No? No, ma'am?
Next report is a comparison between 2019 and 2020 tax assessment. In 2019, we're at 93.0448. Right now, we're at 94.2812%. We're doing really good.
Okay.
Okay. And that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Anybody?
It's good. It's good.
Thank you, Rose, as always, for
Thank you.
catching on tonight.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, general manager's report.
Okay. I only have one item on the open and two to discuss in the closed.
Okay.
But we opened up our doors on Monday
Okay.
here at the district. We are still requiring masks, and we are taking temperatures.
Okay.
And so far, no problem. We've had a big influx of people coming in.
Oh, yes.
Right, Rose?
Yes, we just sent out a notice for the month of March.
Mhm. And
The jaws were open, and so here they came.
Yes, sir.
yes, and the girls did an excellent job as far as collecting through that drop-off box and taking care of business during the times that we were closed. But we felt that since the governor went ahead and opened Texas up, and it was time that we move forward also. And our problems of COVID came within and not from the public, so I made that call of opening the doors again. And
Yep, still got this,
yes,
still got the guy taking temperatures.
Yes.
How are we doing with employees?
we're doing well. I think we've got 2 out, Robert?
I think, I got one, Pete's
I've got 2.
We've got 2, so a total of 3 out with COVID. And mostly it's been through family members that they
Yeah.
picked it up from.
Yeah.
So
I've
the
got 2
thing is,
employees.
we've been very successful in educating our employees of, hey, if you feel bad, if there's any symptoms at all, stay home and call us. Or if a relative that lives with you is ill, please stay home and then we'll deal with it. Because we certainly don't want a super spread again.
That's a good point. I don't think my cousin Ben would mind sharing that. Ben and Kathy felt ill, went and got tested positive. Went home, said, okay, and waited 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
They both ended up in the hospital.
Yeah. I talked to Ben day before yesterday, I believe, and he was telling me all about it. He's still on oxygen, he said.
But he, you know what he said about walking out of the hospital?
Yeah.
That's just an IV. That's just an IV.
And he said, I just got, I said,
I
well,
got bored.
that might have been the best thing you did, is just get up and walk out.
But his poor Kathy, his wife got stuck in the rehabilitation for another 10 days.
But Ben said he was in there in ICU for 10 days.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was pretty bad there for a while. So don't sit around once they tell you you're positive, thinking you're gonna beat it automatically. Go find a doctor that'll give you something.
But I'll answer any questions on COVID if you all have any.
Oh, I think that's good, Chief.
Okay. Larry did call me yesterday, I think, or day before yesterday, and to ask me about what we were doing and so on.
Yeah.
So I explained to him. Of course, Larry came down with COVID, so he knows what.
You did?
Yeah.
Got it.
Both Larry and his wife.
Oh, no.
My son and,
Really? But y'all are all over it?
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah. Right, you wouldn't be here.
I wouldn't be
All right,
here.
good.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, you wanted to move a couple items to closed? You wanna
Well,
bring-
we're gonna discuss, it has to do with Supreme Court case,
Okay.
so we'll cover
Gotcha.
that.
Okay.
We had that hearing yesterday, and then
Oh, yeah.
Johnny and I had another meeting that we'll discuss in close.
Okay. Okey dokey. Well, that brings us to Mr. Al Blair, the district engineer's report. Anything on there, Al? Did you?
Yeah, bad news. So,
Yeah.
we're just, it's a repeat of last meeting. We haven't improved very much in our yield out of the waters. The snowpack's gone down a little, not up. Most of the allocation stuff I need to talk about in closed session too, because there's some issues that are related to the litigation. So I'll just talk to everybody in closed session.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. All that snow that's in the Sierra Nevadas, is that gonna make it over low enough and into our ranges to help us? Do you know yet?
The jet stream's so irregular, as you've seen through the last few years, that nobody can predict it. That's why I don't know about you guys, but here in Austin, they can't predict the next day's weather, let alone
Yeah.
a week. Their prediction models are getting really far off on our rainfall here because of the oscillation with the Gulf pushing back and forth. But it's dipping down at some points. We got obviously quite a bit of snow over there for a while, but some of it's evaporating. There's high winds today, so we're going to get some sublimation. We're going to lose some of that. But I would have normally this time of year we should have looked a little bit better. But we're not terrible. But these Palmer drought indices are pretty bad still. So there's no improvement. In fact, there's a slight degrading of the system since I talked to you last month. Or at the last board meeting. And so, we're reenactment of the same thing stands 2013 to 2014, sort of in between a 2013 and a 2014. Remember 2013 was 6 inches. We're still hoping to get a foot. But we will discuss it more. There's a lot of activity, both just end of year calculations from last year and proposed operating agreement issues that I need to discuss in closed session with you guys.
Okay. All righty, thank you, Al. Okay. Next item would be Pete. There he is. Bring us up to date on this maintenance stuff, Pete.
I'm sorry?
Bring us up to date.
Okay, well, we've got a small, it's not that small, but a PowerPoint presentation. I've got most of our major projects on presentation. Of course, we continue with our drain program, cleaning up the drains and all these little fires and replacing turnouts and so on and so forth, which I didn't put in the PowerPoint because I have lots of other pictures.
You can share that computer there, can share.
Yeah, I'll go, let me get on it.
But we're moving along pretty good. One of the main concerns that Mr. Reyes and us had, or me had been hearing was if we're gonna get the sand out of the Franklin Canal in time. Well, just guys, to let you guys know, we should be done, I figure by noon today. All the sand is out.
Fantastic.
All the sand is out and we're ready for water in the Franklin as soon as we're done on the riverside.
And Pete's removed thousands of tons of sand out of the Franklin. We were down, Robert was concerned about the Franklin because it was only like, I guess 3 to 4 feet deep in some areas, Robert?
Not even have like 12 inches.
Yeah, I mean, it was really packed with sand, so we had to do something there. So. But there were concerns, that Pete said, from some farmers that they were seeing sand in the Franklin, were we going to be able to remove it in time and so on, so.
Wow.
We did answer a lot of
Did you
those.
put it right there on the same bank, pretty close?
No, actually, we covered up one of our drains that we needed covering up that's been,
Did you
not
cover
used
surface?
anymore.
Okay.
And Mr. Armstrong here from across the street wanted to cover up them ponds, or the little lakes that he had. So a lot of the sand went there. And then, of course, we got a couple of water users that want some sand, so we accommodated them also.
Yeah, we got a lot of requests. We were surprised because we got a lot of requests from different people that wanted sand.
Right.
And it was all close by, so.
Right, yeah, so, we're gonna give it a finishing touch, but whatever sand we accumulate now, we'll do it with our one trucks. You know, these other ones, we did have to go out and hire a company to help us out. And, yeah, we started last Tuesday, and we'll be done by Monday.
Wow, that's nice. That's
49,000 tons.
cool.
Isn't that ongoing though? Don't you always have to, every year, in that part of it?
Well, yeah, like on the Franklin, I guess we hadn't done it for about maybe 10 years, we hadn't done it?
We haven't done it in like 15 years, but I think one of the biggest problems there is we shotcrete the Franklin feeder, and the Franklin feeder used to have a tendency to hold a lot of sand. Now that sand is moving and it's coming out farther and it's settling down here. And it created big problems for us this year.
So I think the more we concrete line, the more we're gonna have to do it. We're just gonna have to go hit different areas every year. But I think it's gonna be a constant thing from now on.
And we have targeted different areas on the Franklin. We did the zoo, all the downtown area and the zoo area and down Paisano. It's been, what, maybe 6, 7 years ago?
Right, and then we did the Riverside last year.
Right, and we did the Riverside and now we had to do the Franklin. There was big concerns on the Franklin.
Maybe the Tornillo next year.
Yeah, we'll have to hit.
Tornillo's probably gonna be next.
Yeah, Tornillo and then since we have that grant money to concrete line the Riverside Canal along the border, we're going to continue removing sand from there because that's always a big problem, that canal.
Okay, so here we're replacing a flume for one of our waters. I believe this is Rogers. What am I supposed to hit, DJ? Okay. Replacing a flume, we had to replace about 20 feet of pipe. The rest of the pipe was fairly new, so we just had to replace that first section there, put 2 cement collars, and walked away from that. Here's the island main. The island main, we went and shot it yesterday, and it looks like we're already at grade. So now it's just basically going in there and cleaning up making sure everything's nice and straight, so we can start laying the felt in there, and then we can start shotcrete on it. And our intention is to do it from the Guadalupe upstream all the way to the 154. And you're gonna be seeing a little bit more movement up there. I've already moved another 3 pieces of equipment up there. So that's gonna go pretty quick. These are the piles of sand that were in the Franklin. There were 72 piles about that size.
Where is that at along Franklin? How far down?
This was from Denton Road all the way
Okay.
to Scove Road.
Okay, so I was thinking it's way down here.
Right.
Special.
And here's the tandem. They sent us 6 tandem trucks and 7 belly dumps. And as you can see, it's kind of narrow, so we had to use the excavators kind of to either get inside the channel or off to the side so the trucks can go through. And that's where it's been removed. This is here across the street, the old Armstrong place, and we had to move our D8. We figured out that our low boy, once we remove the cap, we should be able to move that D8.
I'll be darned. Yeah, you took off the rope system already.
Yes. And this is the drain that we're covering up here on 1110. You can see how much I've covered up already. This is the Montoya main. This is from Red Road up to the heading of the branch A. And I've got a small video of what they're shooting here, if you guys would like to see it. I don't want to take up too much time, but let me know if you want to see it. That's the heading of the A there. And here we've got a couple of guys working on the A all the way down to, from the Haiti heading all the way down to Country Club. Most of our resources, we brought them up to the riverside to try to knock that out. But we just left a couple of guys over there just to make sure that they continue with the shaping of the Montoya A. That's what it's looking like after we're done with it. So there, we just gotta go put some forms and the liner, and we'll be ready to shoot. This is the riverside. This is how much we're having to close that riverside. You can see it right there, where it burns out.
Yeah. Wow.
We've done a little bit over 2,000 feet. Right now, they're shotcreting already. By the end of this week, we should have pretty close to 2,000 feet already shotcreted. We still need an additional 5,000 to the Partidor. And then we got another 2,500 below Riverside Wasteway 1.
And the anime.
And then,
And the Montoya A.
and
And what, didn't we discuss that last time? Where's all that sand gonna go once you get that thing all lined?
Your turn up?
I think that's why Danny's here, because
Yeah, it's my problem now.
well, I mean, this sand's gonna go down to the riverside. Eventually, it's gonna end up
Yeah.
wherever it's earthen, and that's why we're having to
Okay.
be still every year.
Okay.
and Al's working on a plan of where we can not concrete line and keep a section where we could just dedicate ourselves.
Possibly,
Yeah, to remove
clean
that
out
sand.
sand,
Yeah, when
Make
it,
a sand pit, yes.
sand trap or something like that.
right, when it moves downstream.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, concrete doesn't eat sand, so, I mean, it's not, the sand never changes, we've known that from the beginning. We're just trying to keep sections of it clean and efficient to reduce seepage, so, yeah, you're gonna have to, instead of doing these cleanouts every 10 years, like we do now in these big wide sections, you're gonna have to do cleanouts every single year. Because it'll be all concentrated in a much smaller location. Sort of like what we just talked about on the Franklin, that's exactly what's gonna happen. So the idea there is that you do it every year and keep up with it.
But
If you don't, you're gonna plug up your canals, because we're concentrating, all we're doing is concentrating the sand in different locations.
But this section, I know for you board members, I know you all are getting calls from different farmers about the delay of being able to deliver return flow. But if this project here, the Riverside, is very important. Unfortunately, it was the ugliest section that we had to concrete line to narrow. It was 1.25 miles that we still needed to narrow and concrete line, but it was a $1 million USBR grant that we needed to do this year. So, you know, we're trying to work on it. Pete's got 2 crews working, concrete lining, and our target is probably the 1st or 2nd week of April, Pete, right?
That's what I'm hoping, mid-April, I'm hoping.
And that's what we're telling these farmers that want, you know, some of this return flow, and I'm sure that's why Mr. Temple was here.
Once we get to the section to the Partidor, we'll be able to open it up.
Yeah. But once we start, and then unfortunately next year we have to do the Franklin feeder from the Partidor to Socorro Road to finish that Franklin feeder up, and that's a grant also. So we're going to be shut down next year for a while also. But we'll move on that one as fast as we can.
The good thing about it, guys, is that once we do this section here and do the Franklin feeder, there should be no more interruptions.
Yeah.
You know, because we've got the riverside that we can divert, or we got the Franklin feeder and Franklin that we can divert. So it's just these two arms of our system that kind of cripples us a little bit.
But there was a section that we would lose a lot of water here because of the riverside was so wide and seepage losses were tremendous.
And right now, you're gonna see a turnout that we had to move. That'll give you a pretty good idea on how much we had to close that channel out. This is all part of the riverside. That's what's looking like after we're done with it. Liner.
And of course, we have to meet compaction that Al requires that we meet, so it takes time.
Now here you can see the turnout way back there. That's Kegel's turnout that we had to bring out 50 feet to align it with the riverside.
Wow.
You can see it way back there. You can see the
Yeah.
turnout. So there's
Yeah,
right
so
there.
you did that much narrowing.
So we had to put an extension of 50 feet on there. We installed a brand new head wall
Wow.
to align it with the riverside. That's how much we had to extend
That's
it.
amazing.
So that's what takes the longest. It's just the earthwork of having to narrow the channel to the grade there and the design that the L wants. I'm sorry, I'll go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying that Robert's gonna know, he already knows this, the water's gonna move a lot faster now. And so the time difference between the American and the part of Door is gonna be cut down for him. He won't have that big Lake Riverside to buffer it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's gonna have a regulating reservoir
Yeah, some year.
sometime.
And here's already where we're shooting the concrete on the riverside.
So that section, we had a steel shortage, right? So we decided to go back to the fiber stuff for our section. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
well, I'm actually not getting the load till today. You know, it just hasn't come in. They're having a very hard time getting the steel. And the price has skyrocketed tremendously.
Isn't it
But-
much cheaper to go fiber than steel anyways, in the long term?
Yeah, we had the money in this budget from the grant to go with steel, so we had hoped to. We have some danger in this area, operational danger of high water like we had in the 80s. And if we get a situation where the canal's empty and the groundwater comes up, it'll destroy the canal. It'll probably destroy it with steel in it too, but at least with steel you got a little bit of a warning time, whereas with the fibers, it'll just pop like, they actually make a noise when we say they pop, they actually do pop, you hear a pop.
Yeah.
So that's the riverside after we've shot it.
Looks very clean, Pete.
We just need to do the course, thank you.
They submitted a bid, no? They are the price on the bid?
Yeah, they're honoring the price. So,
They were just having a hard time getting
Getting it.
steel.
so being that we had to do away with the panels on the upstream side in order to meet the criteria that we signed up for, we had to do an additional 1,500 feet of concrete lining below Riverside Wasteway 1, which is this section here.
Okay.
So rather than doing 1,000, we're gonna have to do 2,500. But we still qualify for everything that we applied for in the grant.
That's good.
Now, all this section here will have panels in it. I'm gonna use the panels that are coming in right now to do this 2,500 feet of riverside. And as you can see, we couldn't drive the right bank. Now we can actually get dump trucks on that right bank. See the dump truck right there on the right side already, so. That's all I got, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Just to let you guys know, we don't own the right side.
We ought to have them check it then.
Well, but, you know, what's our responsibility on the right side after?
Well, we have an easement on the right side, so you can do whatever you want to do.
But maintenance wise.
I'm sure our vehicle today.
Cut the grass.
I don't think we have any maintenance responsibility, but you know, obviously that doesn't work because it's a canal. We gotta make sure it works.
Border Patrol took on when they negotiated with us, when Alan was the first fence, that they would do the maintenance from then on.
Which they never done.
Of which, you know, that it doesn't happen, and it just causes Robert and you problems.
You might be moving it over enough that we start to own it again.
Yeah, but now,
We'll have an easement.
as soon as we concrete line it all, then we'll have very little, maintenance in it. Yeah.
All right. Well, very good, Pete, thank you. All right, Robert?
We got very little.
Oh, come on, 4 foot.
That's it. We're trying to do a return flow like we did last month. It's very little. They've been metering 25, 30 feet. And that's way up here, so, but we've been doing some pretty good acres with it, considering that we were not even planning to use it, but we're using it. And right now, in February, we watered up to 3,000 acres in 1 month with it, which is not bad. And so far this month, we already got 1,000. See, like the farmers are not all